Hello. This week I wanted to talk about a manga that I just became aware of, and it might be finished. I haven't even actually looked that up because I'm afraid of it being finished. In all honesty, I thoroughly enjoy the 20. No, I got up to chapter 30, I think, of the story, and from what I've been able to tell, at least on the couple places I was checking, there are at least 160 chapters, and I am hoping that that's not the end. Though, if it has a good, a good arc and conclusion, I should not be that concerned about it. However, this story really kind of hit me with its art style, making me think of things like Akira, and there's like an entire, say, we'll call it like era of art in the manga world that was kind of watercolored, but also attempted to, you know, balance between being really high, we'll call it fidelity, like really highly detailed, and, in some cases not. But it was also a very kind of like dark future, like dirty future or near future kind of art style that it hooked me, grabbed me, and had me very kind of nostalgically reminiscing about some of these other manga that I could remember having read or watched the animes for. And this, from the thumbnail, you know already, DoroHeDoro, or DoroHeDoro, and it's something about like muddy filth, or filthy as mud. And our main characters, we have kind of two misfits a little bit. It goes hard from the very beginning. There's a kind of a end of a fight where you're introduced to like the main method that the main character uses to find the person that cursed them, or find the person they think cursed them, and that is by taking someone's head and sticking it in their mouth. And this person was cursed to have like an iguana's head, basically. So they put the person's head in their mouth, and they got to be alive for this to work, it seems. And from within the throat of our cursed main character, a human head will appear, and it will look the person in the eye, and will basically say, in the very beginning it says, "You are not the one." That's the line that will be said, and the main character assumes that that statement is to say that you are not the one that cursed me, but it only says you are not the one, so you don't really know. It's just like a sentence fragment, right? So there's more mystery to this than just that. However, they're operating on the premise, both characters that you are introduced to, that the lizard head thing is a curse or a transmutation that was placed upon the main character by a sorcerer or wizard. And this main character doesn't really get affected by magic. So, they can go around, kind of fighting on even terms a little bit with magic users. We find out also that the place that the main characters are living is a place called The Hole. And it's this kind of, dingy, rundown town or city. I'm not really sure exactly how big The Hole is, but it is mostly metropolitan. And this location houses non-wizards, and the people that are magically attuned, they show up through portals that usually are doors. A door opens, wizard comes out, and the wizard or sorcerer tends to visit the Hole only to experiment and try out their new powers. So anytime a magic user develops a new skill, they need a guinea pig or guinea pigs, and they test it out by going to the Hole where there are non-magic users. So that's our assumption. And in this story, there's all kinds of violence. Again, it's from the era of Akira. So if you've ever watched the movie Akira, you know that there's some moments in there that are pretty like body horror-ish. But in the same vein, with DoroHeDoro, you have magic that transmutes people, magic that does all kinds of stuff. We have a main villain, we'll call it, from the first several chapters, who is uses mushrooms. Like, they change people into mushrooms, they change stuff, and like basically everything they do is mushroom related. They can do all kinds of crazy stuff, but it's mushroom stuff. And you end up with a lot of transforming of physical objects and people into different things, which is a very detailed and kind of catches you when you're reading it. The other part of this story that I'm really kind of enjoying are the moments that they actually kind of go to the quiet life side of things, so to speak, because they have this dystopian setting. Life is not fantastic, but you have all these people that they're just living their lives as they can, because they probably just grew up with that, so they don't know any better, or they don't know there's a different way to live, we should say, than the violence that they are born into. But the main character lives near a gyoza shop that's run by the other main character. So you have Kaimon, who's the cursed one, and then Nikaido, I believe is the name appropriate for that. That's the supporting character in the early stages of the story, and she runs a gyoza shop. And there's always lunch. Kaimon is always picking up his lunchbox, from the gyoza shop, or visiting the gyoza shop after work, and that's part of where they do all their discussions of like what to do next, and who their next target is, or what's going on. A lot of strategizing happens in this restaurant, so you can get kind of this mix between like the high tension of the battle scenes and this kind of very real slow life picture at the gyoza shop. So I'm really digging it. It is good stuff. I cannot express to you how much I was enjoying reading this prior to making the video. And then right before that, right before making this video, I did a little search, and I'll pop something around here so you can see just some examples, because I was curious, as it's not that well of a known series, I don't think, even though Netflix did pick it up, I've heard. But there's some t-shirts that I think are amazing. Like, anytime you have a series that can kind of make a location within the series be worthy of merchandise, is something that I kind of appreciate as well, because there are these cool shirts, I think, that are kind of emphasize the whole just the gyoza aspect of it. I think it's like Gyoza Life or something, but it's these goofy shirts that kind of like advertise the gyoza shop that's in the story, as opposed to focusing on the lizard head guy, or just the fighting aspect of the story. And I've also discovered that the artist and mangaka for this series went on to make something else called like Die Evil, I think is the name of it. Haven't even read it, but when I was digging around for the merchandise picture that I will show you, the t-shirts, there was another one for this goofy food, which is spaghetti and meatball bread, which is like just a piece of bread with pile of spaghetti and meatball on it, and it's kind of advertising or extolling this, which has me kind of curious, because now I want to see if it's a weird spaghetti meatball shop, a spaghetti meatball bread shop that's in this new manga, or what. But that's it. I gotta say, like, if you haven't seen it or heard of it, I really do recommend that you go dig it up. And I believe Netflix has 2 seasons of an anime version of this series. Though I always prefer that people read the literary version first, or whatever version of it came first, literary or moving picture version. If that's the first version, you should watch that. Is my opinion, really. And watch the other stuff after. But all right, thanks for tuning in. Hope you like and subscribe and do all those necessary things.